Big winners might be hard to come by in 2025, but strong and steady could be the best way to go. MarketBeat analyst Chris Markoch joins us with a list of 7 stocks set for a strong and steady 2025. Chris, you definitely need these big giants in your portfolio rather than just trying to chase all of those big winners, right?
I mean, the names that we're going to talk about today, Bridget, are names that investors know well. They've actually been strong performers in the past couple of years, but I expect that they're going to still continue to perform well in 2025, albeit maybe not quite at the gains that we saw in the last couple of years.
Well, let's get started right away with your first pick. Again, a company everyone knows, but is a good stock to hold on to for 2025.
Absolutely. It's Microsoft. I think it's pretty much a staple in many people's portfolios. If you own the S&P 500, you own Microsoft. But I think a key thing here is that Microsoft's down significantly from where it was trading in the middle of the summer. Back then, it was trading around 470 a share. It's down quite a bit since then. It's trading at 426 now. And analysts see the stock being somewhere around $511 in the next 12 months. So this is a good time to be looking to buy the dip on Microsoft.
Yeah, there's some strong gains to be made in that stock for sure. The
Absolutely.
next company you're talking about, very similar with very strong gains ahead, but just not the 200% gains maybe that we've seen in the past.
Right. We're talking about NVIDIA. Again, this is another stock that, for some investors, if they own the S&P 500, they're going to be invested in NVIDIA. But for shareholders that like to own the stock individually, stocks had a great run. It's up over 168% in the last 12 months. Do I see the stock having that kind of gains in this coming year? I do not. However, analysts are still very bullish on the stock. They're looking at a price target of around 164 on the stock, and that would still be about a 17% gain from its current price level.
NVIDIA recently has seen volatility whenever a new announcement comes out where it will
Yeah.
spike and then drop again. Do you expect that volatility to continue?
I think at some point here in the first quarter of the year, you're going to see sort of a balancing out. I think there's just a lot of uncertainty right now with the incoming administration's potential policies, how that's going to affect the economy. And I just think that right now there's just a lot of fear in the market because of uncertainty. And I think once that certainty becomes more known, I think that'll create a much better environment for NVIDIA.
Let's get to your third strong and steady stock pick for 2025.
Some people might disagree with me on this one, but I think ServiceNow is a good pick. And now ServiceNow is another one of those stocks. It was up about 50% in the last year. It's come down pretty significantly since the middle of December. It's kind of gotten caught up in this whole tech wreck. Even though it's down about 6% in a month, it's still up about 37% over the last 6 months. This is one that analysts believe that right now might still be a little bit overvalued, but I think the thing that investors will want to watch for with this stock is the potential for a stock split. Now that it's trading over $1,000 a share, that could be a catalyst to see bigger gains in this stock.
All right, the next strong and steady pick you have is in the retail sector.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be a strong year for 2025 in retail?
I think it's going to be much like we saw for the last couple of years. I think there are going to be winners and I think there are going to be losers. And I think one of the winners again this year is going to be Walmart. Again, here we're talking singles and doubles, not home runs. Walmart's gone up about 73% in the last 12 months. I'm not expecting to see that kind of growth this year, but I do expect that Walmart's still going to be a solid play. The reason for that is inflation expectations are rising. I'm not saying inflation is going to go to the point where it was maybe in 2022, but inflation's on the way up. And what Walmart has been seeing is that higher net worth consumers are shopping at their store for the discretionary items, whereas their core customers are still looking at Walmart for the value in the staple items. Walmart's also now, through their Walmart Plus program, they've become a big player in the e-commerce realm. I just see this stock as being a very safe play in the retail space.
This next one had a really strong 2024. What makes you think this company is going to have a strong 2025 as well?
Well, we're talking about Tesla here. And Tesla's had a rocky start to the year so far. It's down about 2.3% in just the first few trading days. That was based on some weaker than expected delivery numbers. I don't think you can count Tesla out. I've been guilty in the past of saying, maybe Tesla's run is over. I'm not really willing to count Tesla out right now. Analysts aren't as high as I am on the stock. They are looking at a downside of about 25% in the stock this year. I'm not buying that. I think that, again, you're going to see some volatility here in the first quarter of the year. For EV companies, it may extend out through the first half of the year, but I'm expecting that you're going to see by the end of the year, I think you're going to be seeing a solid gain for Tesla.
So, not a risky stock. This qualifies as a strong and steady for you.
It really does. There's going to be some volatility. There's no question about that. You have to have some conviction with it, but I don't see a reason why Tesla's not going to keep doing what it's going to do. I've been guilty of betting against Tesla too many times.
Yeah, I think a lot of investors are excited about this company specifically because of its leader, Elon Musk, and his new role in the new administration and what that might mean for this company. If you'd like to check out MarketBeat's latest free report, Elon Musk's next big move, scan the QR code right now or click the link in the description of this video to get that free report on marketbeat.com right now. All right, let's move on to your sixth pick of a stock that you think is going to have a strong and steady 2025.
The stock is Coinbase Global. And obviously, investors are probably getting tired of hearing about the growth in Bitcoin over last year. It was one of the best performing asset classes that investors could have been in. Coinbase is sort of a proxy for that. It operates as a cryptocurrency exchange. The stock's up about 60% in the last 12 months. What I like about the stock right now is it's down significantly from where it was. It's down about 25% in the last month. It may have a little bit further to drop, but I like the stock's position over the next 12 months because, again, of the inflation story. That's going to cause some concern over the viability of US equities. Investors are going to be looking for places to go for safety, and they might be turning to cryptocurrency like Bitcoin to do that. Analysts are projecting a price target that's about 288, so that's about 12.5% above where it is right now. Again, singles and doubles. If you're getting a 12% gain this year, I think that's going to be pretty good.
All right, let's get to the final pick on your list of seven stocks set for a strong and steady 2025. This company may be less well known with all investors.
Well, I think it's less well known for some investors that have really been into growth stocks lately, and I'm talking about Occidental Petroleum. Now, for some investors, they're going to look at this and say, oh gosh, here Chris is. It's a broken record. He's talking about oil stocks. But I think 2025 is going to do what 2024 didn't do. And that is, it's going to see a surge in oil stocks. Occidental Petroleum is one that you're going to want to buy. It's been one of Warren Buffett's favorite stocks since about 2020. He keeps buying into it at different levels. The stock is down about 12% over the last 12 months. Analysts see that stock now being positive about 22% in the next 12 months for a lot of reasons here, for the dividend growth, for just the chance of a strong total return. I think Oxy is one you really have to look at if you're looking at oil stocks and energy stocks in 2025.
Oh, we made it through our list of seven stocks pretty quickly. I do want to finish up this conversation talking about why analysts think those huge returns might be harder to come by in 2025.
Yeah, I've touched on it a little bit, Bridget. It's coming down to uncertainty in the first quarter into the first half of the year. We just don't know what the impact of any potential tariffs are going to be. We don't. Right now, investors are getting very nervous about how high the 10-year Treasury note is going. It touched on 4.7% recently. And at those levels, there's a lot of investors that are going to be pulling money out of stocks. They're going to be pulling it into safer play investments. But I think as we get towards the second half of the year, there's going to be a little bit more certainty towards the market. And I think you're going to start seeing a better environment for stocks. And these are names that you're going to want to be in. We're talking about tech, we're talking about oil, and we're talking about the strongest names you can find in retail like a Walmart.
Lots of diversity for your investments this year. Thanks for the list, Chris, of 7 stocks set for a strong and steady 2025. And thank you for joining us here on MarketBeat. Check out some of our other content, comment with some of your takes on these stocks. And as always, thanks for joining us and happy investing.